Hi, Blugubrious here. This is a video to show you how to adjust a MIDI preset on the Kernom Ridge. If you didn't know this already, there is a difference between a MIDI preset and your favorite preset that is actually stored using this button here. You can only store one preset on the pedal if you're not using a MIDI controller. It's MIDI capable, you have to use a MIDI controller. I have another video you can go see on my channel for the Ampero controller that I use to program multiple presets. You can program up to 128 presets on this thing, but you have to use the MIDI controller. To use the favorite preset, you just push and hold the preset button here and you can store one preset of your choosing on the pedal itself. Now here's the issue. The issue is that you can control or adjust the settings of your favorite preset on the pedal. You can adjust it. So let's say I have, let me just make a sound here. Got a sound. So here's the sound. I push and hold this. That is now my favorite preset. It's not engaged, but that is my favorite preset. And so you know these LEDs are white. Both of them are white right now. I know the camera doesn't show that. So that's my favorite preset. I can adjust that preset. So if I turn a knob, see how this knob is now to the right and it's not where I just preset it? Well, to adjust it, I have to turn it until the light stops blinking and they both illuminate. So now you see they're both on. That is where that knob is set on the preset I just saved. So there's a great video on Kernom's YouTube page on how to do that. So I'm not really here to show you how to do that. There's already videos for that. But what I am here to show you how to do is if you have a MIDI triggered preset, one of your 128, that light should have turned blue. I know it doesn't show blue very good on the camera, but it is blue, I promise. So now here is this preset. You hear how it's really quiet. So let's say that's my MIDI preset. I've stored some of my 128 down there using the Ampero controller or any MIDI controller, and I want to adjust that. If I turn this pedal off, you can hear how loud my clean signal is. But when I have this preset engaged from the controller down there, the MIDI controller, that's quiet, but I can't adjust anything. If I turn this, I can turn that to anything and it does not adjust the MIDI preset. So what I do is instead of using the favorite preset in the pedal as a favorite preset, because I have the ability to save 128 favorite presets using a MIDI controller, is I use this favorite preset as my placeholder so I can put my MIDI preset in it, adjust it, and then resave it back to my MIDI controller setting. So here's how I do that. Okay, so this is not how to change your favorite preset, it's how I would change a MIDI preset. So what I do is I've already showed you that that is not loud enough. So what I'm gonna do is you can see here that this isn't loud enough. Can't adjust it, but what I can do is now I can save this preset as my favorite preset. So I'm saving the MIDI using the pedal down there on the floor. I'm going to save it here as my favorite preset. When I push and hold this, that will blink. It stays blue, but I have to turn it off and then it'll now be white. So what I did there was I saved the triggered preset as my favorite preset, turned off the triggered preset. Now I've turned on, this is that preset in action. So now when I turn this knob, it's going to want to get to where it was before. You see those lights blink? I need to turn to the left because the left light is blinking. I need to continue turning it until it stays solid. So now you see they are both solid. That means this is where the preset was. Now that they're both solid, I can adjust that and make it louder. Okay, there you go. Getting closer. All right. So there's a volume I want. So what I now do is I push and hold this. So if you're following along, I know it's confusing. I've taken the MIDI preset down there from my pedal, triggered it, saved it as my favorite preset, adjusted it, and resaved it as my favorite preset. Now what I do is reprogram it as a new MIDI preset with the new settings. By pushing and holding that, that is blinking blue. Now I hit that button that was already used before to trigger it. There you go. So now the MIDI preset, if I trigger it, is now louder. So before it was quiet, that now new number, whatever I have down there on my pedal board is 19. So that the way I just did that with the volume would work with any knob. So right now, let's try another one. I have another preset down here. Similar, because I just set the pedal up the same just to show this demonstration. So now I want to adjust this preset. Let's say it has too much gain. I did volume, let's try gain or drive. Let's say I want to clean this up a little bit. So now I save that as my favorite preset, push and hold. When it blinks, That means I have saved it as my favorite preset, but it's still blue, so I need to turn it off, turn it back on. Now that preset that was triggered by my pedal down there on the floor, my MIDI controller, is now my favorite preset on the actual pedal. It's the one that stores here instead of the one of the 128. But I want to clean up. Now I can just adjust this. So I need to get it where it was, to where those stop blinking, because that's when you can adjust it, after they stop blinking. There you go. Now they're both solid. Now I can adjust it. Once they've gone solid, I can adjust it. So I'm going to turn the gain, that drive down. Let's clean that up a little bit. Maybe it needs just a little more volume. Now when I turn this, you're going to see these blink again, because this might not be where the preset was set before. Let's see. Yeah, see, I need to turn it to the right to get where it was set. Now this is where it was in the original preset. Because I turned that drive down, I want to turn the volume up a little bit. Now you see it's working. Now it's affecting the preset. And once I have that, I save it as my favorite. And now I'm going to save it as that MIDI preset. Push and hold this. And once it blinks, I'm going to push that pedal. So what I did, you can see that it saved it. I have to trigger it now. The light is blue. So now that is the new preset that is triggered by my MIDI controller. I know that's a little confusing. Just to summarize, what I'm doing is saving the MIDI preset that I have already triggered with my controller as the favorite. And as a favorite, I can adjust it. Once I've adjusted, I resave it. After it's resaved, I then resave it as a MIDI triggered preset. So take it from favorite to MIDI. That's what you do. Or maybe this way, I'll say it this way. You take it from a MIDI to the favorite, adjust it, save it again as a favorite, then make it a MIDI, and now you've adjusted the MIDI preset. This happens real fast for me. Now I can do it very quickly because I had a whole bank of presets. My first 4 presets were really quiet. And then on my second 4 presets, my second bank of 4, they were really loud. And so I went back and I figured this out. So it's just a quick workaround. I hope that helps you. Feel free to ask questions in the comments. Even email me from my YouTube page. You can do that. I'll help if I can. Take care.